You're about to enjoy an It Takes Three Network podcast.
Morning in New York. Time to wake up from bad dreams, roll out of the beds we've made, and start making plans for a brighter future. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Three Gossip Girls, a Gossip Girl podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Michelle.
Tonight we watched Season 3, Episode 3, The Lost Boy. Original air date, September 28th of 2009. Written by Robert Hull and directed by Jean de Sezognac.
Ooh.
Sezognac. Yeah.
Says a snack.
Summary we have for this episode. Chuck and Blair both have their eye on the same lot in an auction. Serena suspects that Carter is returning to his old ways. Georgina takes interest in Dan, and Vanessa begins to think that there's something not quite right with Scott. Which we all knew from the beginning.
Yeah.
Speaking of Scott, the Glassful of Gossip this week was titled Running Rosson because he ran the fuck away.
I love it.
We had kombucha tonight by Hum. So delicious.
So good. We both had a different flavor. I had blueberry mint.
And I had mango passion fruit. Delicious. So I said kombucha puts a pep in your step. And Scott skedaddled.
It's perfect. As always, Liz, you come through with the most perfect names for these drinks.
But Jess did look like she made a martini and called it the Empire Hotel, which is almost, I was going to go that way too. So glad that she used that in there. So the episode begins with Blair walking into her dorm room, seeing a sock on the door, not caring about it, putting a glove on, and as she's doing that, she's also leaving Chuck a voicemail and saying, I just got out of my first class. I could totally skip the next one so they could do it. I'm like, wait, I'm sorry. Blair Waldorf is skipping class to have sex? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. That's out of character, I think.
Yeah, but also maybe now because she has this new relationship with Chuck that they want to keep it alive. Like last week, they thought they were getting stale.
Right. I get that. I just was surprised that she would skip a class, like in your first week of freshman year. That's
right.
Unlike Blair, in my opinion. But she walks into the dorm room, finds Dan and Georgina making out. He has no shirt on, so I guess they're getting down to the business. Blair is, of course, disgusted, grossed out by all of it, and Dan makes up some excuse he was there to borrow a book, even though clearly, there's no way you can get around that.
No.
After Blair makes her scene, she takes her mail and leaves the room. When she leaves, Georgina tells Dan that everyone will be happy for them, even Vanessa, even Rufus. And Dan's like, pump the brakes a little bit. And she suggests they go get breakfast. But he's like, I need to take a rain check because it's just all too much for Padgy Boy. On the way out, he runs into Serena because that's what happens. You just slept with someone or you're going to, and then you run into your ex in the hall.
But also, why is she there?
She was there to see Blair. That,
To me, Serena, you have way too much time on your hands and you're bored because you should be in college or
be doing something.
Figuring yourself out, working, whatever.
Right. Yeah. So he bumps into Serena. He's lying about his walk of shame, but she's clearly... it's obvious that was what happened. And he says, no, I was hanging out in Vanessa's room. But then Vanessa opens her door and was like, oh, hey, I thought you guys were out here. And so Serena's like, wait, if that's Vanessa's room, that means you were coming from Blair and Georgina's room. And ew. And both of them were like, they think it's opposite.
Yeah.
We hope please tell me you were with Blair / Georgina. And I thought that scene was quite funny.
It was really funny because why would Serena want him to be with Blair?
Right. Because she doesn't like Georgina, but
it's
Blair. We know Vanessa doesn't like Blair.
Right.
But she'd rather him be with Georgina. I know.
It was comical.
Yeah. So they bring him into Vanessa's room and interrogate him on everything that's happening with Georgina, and he claims nothing is serious. The girls understand his motives, like, oh, we've all been there. We all have a Georgina in our past. So they go to leave, and they're discussing the comp theory seminar, which Dan says, I thought that she said that Scott was there. He's going there this afternoon, but then Dan says, wait, I heard from someone it's in the evening. And so this like immediately shocks Vanessa, red flag, and she decides to stay back and call him.
And then also it was full.
And it was
very hard to get into.
Right. So it makes...
before we move on, stupid little sidebar note. Do you think Blair doesn't know what sock on the door means?
I don't, but I guess she put on a glove to take off the sock. She must not know what it means.
Like, do you think she's just like, oh my God, ew, dirty sock on the door? Because why would you, if you knew what it meant, you're like, oh shit. You wouldn't
go in. Yeah, she probably, that's just like so over her head. Like, the rules of what normal college kids do.
Do kids still do that?
I don't know. Let us know, guys.
Please do.
Yeah. So Vanessa calls Scott, who makes up another lie about, the seminars are, in the evenings, but the study groups are in the day. But as we pan out, it's revealed that he's having a guitar lesson with his daddy.
In the same shirt.
Oh, right. They're wearing matching striped shirts. And it seems as though at that point, Scott does want to say something to Rufus, but it ultimately gets interrupted when Jenny and Eric come in. And then Rufus says something about Vanessa, and he chimes in saying, like, she's like a daughter to me. And Scott's like, we're good. I like her a lot. Don't worry. And so he decides to leave. And after that, Jenny says that Scott's been hanging around here a lot, Dad. Like,
Jenny's all of us.
Right. And Rufus is like, he's a good kid. What can I say? On a walk, Serena and Dan are talking about Georgina, and she does mention that, it is Georgina, but I'm not going to judge you because I'm dating Carter and people can change. And why can't Georgina? And so very mature of her to say that about Georgina, but also be careful because she has a crazy side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Padgy Boy claims that the two are just hanging out, and Serena insists that you tell Georgina that because she could get a little possessive if she doesn't know the situation.
Yeah.
So they part ways, and Serena sees Carter on the street, and he invites her to a hotel getaway for the weekend. And Serena also questions him being able to afford this because his parents have cut him off. And she wants to invite him to the auction that night, but all of a sudden this girl comes running up to them saying, "Are you Carter? I slept with you last month and you like your scotch neat, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "I don't know who you are." And Serena's like, "Of course you don't. Like, flat out, you're lying in front of me." But he's like, "No, I don't know who you are." And so she decides not to ask him to go to the auction with her because she's already now disgusted and thinks he's lying.
I mean, I can't blame her for this. Carter has a past, just like Chuck has a past.
Right. They all have past. Serena has a past.
Right. So it's really hard.
She has a past of lying.
She's still lying, but
right.
It's hard to trust someone when they have a record of not being super trustworthy and doing things like this.
Totally. So while that's happening, Vanessa, she goes to the registrar's office and tries to see if they're going to give her information on who Scott is. And of course, the girl can't give her any information. But then she says, "Well, what if he's not a student? Can you just tell me if a student by the name of Scott Adler goes here?" And so, of course, he doesn't.
Dun, dun, dun.
Like, we didn't know this was going to happen. But now Vanessa knows that something's not right here. Why are you lying about going here or who you are?
Yeah.
At the palace, Blair arrives to go see Chuck, hoping to get some, but he doesn't want to get distracted from his work and states he has a very important meeting in a few hours. And so Blair says, like, okay, that's plenty of time to do what we need to do. And he just doesn't want to be distracted by her. And of course, this offends Blair. And like, I'm trying to put myself in Blair's shoes. Maybe I probably would get offended too. But knowing that he's trying to get work done, like, don't distract me.
And also, like, let's look at the change that Chuck has made.
Right.
Just in a couple of months.
Right.
And we also find out that they haven't fooled around in 5 days.
Right. She's horny, and it's been 5 days since they've had sex. And so she leaves upset, drops her mail on the floor, and while she picks it up, she notices there is an invitation to a very exclusive secret society. At NYU, Dan visits Georgina to talk to her, and he's attempting to tell her, like, the relationship thing maybe not going to happen, and she's fine with it, and she actually thinks it's cute the way he's asking her, not to be his girlfriend, no strings attached. And so she says, let's just go out for pizza. Let's not worry about this. No strings attached. In the park, Blair fills Serena in on her secret society invitation and how she is excited to use this pretty much as a distraction for not having sex with Chuck.
I know, that's pretty much what it comes down to.
Or not having a great college experience like she originally thought she would.
She needs to distract her time as if Chuck is also distracting his time.
Right. So, okay, works for her. And so Blair then blames Serena for their lapse in sexual chemistry because of Serena's blow up at his meeting last week or whatever.
Yeah.
For the speakeasy. And he hasn't been the same since. He's just been on like business. And so then they're talking about Carter, and Blair is convinced that Carter is Serena's escape from her deferral from Brown, and the fact that she hasn't told Lily yet, this is all just why we're using Carter. But Serena says, no, Carter's different now. This also prompts Serena to invite Carter to the auction, and then Blair gets her first mission from the secret society and leaves claiming Serena is making a mistake with Carter. That's her go-to every time. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Chuck is going to Sean McPherson's office for his meeting and learns from his secretary that Sean isn't interested in hearing plans from just anyone.
No.
So she suggests that Chuck find some other way to show Sean that he respects his past. And after some snooping, Chuck finds this pamphlet of photos that are going to be up for auction that night, including one of Sean. So he takes this book with him and leaves. Elsewhere, we have to go talk about Nady Boy because
forgot about Nate. He's the lost boy, honestly.
He is, even though I think truly this is about Scott.
No, I get that.
No, I know,
for
but
sure.
He literally is the lost boy.
No, he is. Yeah.
So Nate and Bree are taking a walk and discussing how her family still won't return her calls, and she even posted on her dad's Facebook page. And Nate states that they need to go out and relax, and he'd like her to meet his friends. That was the scene. I don't know why we had to have this scene.
Just to include Nate.
I know.
And catch up with him and Bray.
But also, I guess his plan, I don't even think they mentioned it. His plan was to take her to the auction. Like, hey, come meet my friends. But I don't even think they said that.
Yeah.
At Sotheby's, Chuck runs into Blair, and they are both in need of this one specific photo at the auction that night. And Blair needs it for the Secret Society to get in there. And Chuck, of course, needs it to impress Sean. So obviously this is war between the two. Who could have seen this coming?
Sure.
And, and no one's going to give it up. Not what, Chuck doesn't say, oh, Blair, you have it. This is more important. And Blair doesn't say, oh, you should have it. It's more important.
I mean, when the two of them get their eye on something.
Right.
Then they're both extremely stubborn.
Exactly. So at NYU, Scott goes to see Vanessa, who is waiting for him to explain himself because she knows that he doesn't go here. And so he tells her the truth of who he really is. So finally we get some of the truth coming out. They discuss his adoptive parents and how they lied about him being dead.
Which he didn't know about.
Which he didn't know. And his parents also told him that Rufus and Lily didn't want anything to do with him. So at least Vanessa can fill him in on what happened there. And so he needs a few days to figure out how he's going to go about everything. Vanessa, please don't tell anyone. So now she's holding his secret.
Yeah, if you have feelings for me, you won't tell anyone.
Man, you're going to use that card. But I get it. At the Dowling, Carter's credit card has been declined, and they are accusing him of using all of this room service charges, and he claims he didn't use it. And Serena questions, hey, why don't we put it on my credit card? And he's like, no, it's the principal. They're charging me for stuff I didn't buy. And then he realizes Serena doesn't really believe him. And so she wants to believe that he's changed, but he's making it very hard to. And he questions, like, why are you with me then?
Right.
It's true.
No, I think it's a valid question.
At NYU, Chuck goes to see Blair at her dorm and apologizes to her. She goes, okay, so where's your apology? He goes, that was it.
That was pretty funny.
Me too. I cracked up. So he decides that neither of them should go and bid on this piece. And they're about to get down to the business. And of course, both of their phones go off and their bidding is not ended. And the war still continues. At the coffee shop, Dan and Vanessa meet, which was so incredibly frustrating to watch. And she tells Dan that Scott has a secret and has been lying to everyone. But she doesn't say what it is. Granted, it's not her secret to tell, but also she makes it seem like she doesn't even know the secret. Like, it just, so frustrating.
So she is about...
I don't know why she had to meet with him in the first place if she wasn't going to tell him. Or maybe she was.
I think she was.
And Georgina interrupted.
And then she decided, well, I'm not going to say it in front of Georgina.
Right. And so, of course, Georgina comes in saying, well, I can just leave if you guys are going to sit here and stare at each other. And Vanessa says, no, I'm just going to go. And so then Georgina pressures Dan into telling her what is up with Vanessa. And so Dan flat out says, her boyfriend's lying to her. We got to figure out what to do. And so Georgina's like, yeah,
he's not who he says he is, so let's do some digging.
Like, the fact that Padge, like, trusts Georgina enough to, like, relay that. Like, this is what Vanessa told you. Probably not your place to tell Georgina.
But don't you think Padge has this record of just oversharing?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Whoever he's with, he will just trust them with whatever news there is.
Right. So... But he does ask Vanessa, are you going to the auction later? I know my dad would really want you to be there. And she says, oh, yeah, the auction, definitely. So then Dan and Georgina start investigating. And very quickly, Georgina finds out who Scott is just by him being on a soccer team and the mascots being a lion and where he's from in Boston. Very easy. She's
and the last
very
name.
Good. And the last name. So she finds out his last name is Rosson, not Adler. And she goes, does that name mean anything to you? And so Dan figures out that this is the person who wrote him the fan letter. And now he's like, oh, shit, stalker.
Yeah, well,
this is
I would
very
too.
dangerous. Yeah, so he goes and leaves Vanessa a message. I think something is up with Scott.
Sure.
So Scott goes to pick Vanessa up at the dorms. And he told her that he's going to tell Rufus who he is because he already talked to his parents. So now they know that he knows everything. We go to the auction. Nate and Bree arrive. They get photographed kissing by paparazzi. That's really the extent of them. Vanessa and Scott also arrive, and she's trying to comfort Scott. It's going to be okay. When you tell Rufus, I'll be there for you. Michelle and I are rolling our eyes. It's like, again, a big sister and little brother to me.
Yeah.
Blair arrives and runs into Serena, and they both talk about their man issues. And Serena tells Blair that she was right about Carter. And Blair says some guys just never change. And then Chuck even comes up to them after they're discussing Carter. And Serena says to Chuck, it's over with me and Carter. And he goes, well, some guys never change. And she goes, oh, that's weird. That's the same thing Blair just said. So they head inside and we see Rufus. He goes over to Scott and Vanessa to say hello. But before Scott can say anything, Rufus says, I have to go check on Lily's piece before, the auction starts. Scott then sees his mother from across the room and he heads over to talk to her, and she claims that she's there to stand by her son, which I really liked and appreciated. And of course, we know why she did what she did. Yeah. She just lost her son. She didn't want to lose another one, and she was afraid that they were going to take him away. And he's obviously upset by this, but he's glad that his mother is there.
Yeah.
The auction begins, and Chuck and Blair begin to battle it out for this one photo. And during the bid, they lose focus and begin to argue. And then Serena actually bids on the photo, and she wins.
Classic.
Yeah, and I love how they both look at her, and they're like, what?
Right.
Georgina and Dan arrive, and they tell Rufus that Scott could be dangerous. And before they can really say anything, Vanessa interrupts, claiming that Scott just wants to talk to them, and he's going to explain it all. So Scott comes over and tells Rufus he's Rufus's son's brother. Which Michelle didn't even catch.
I didn't catch. I was like, that is such a weird way to say who you are.
Right.
Because you know what I thought of? Padge.
Oh, okay.
I'm your son's brother. I'm Padge's brother. And so in my mind, I'm like, that's so fucking weird. Like,
Okay. That makes so much more sense.
That's how I took it. Not that about his dead brother's brother.
Yeah. So I think you did miss it. So we had a lot of internet connection, internet failures here during our Netflix parties. And so Michelle lost a few and we had to rewind. But he does say, I'm Andrew, your son's brother, Scott. And so the mom and Vanessa are like, skirt. Wait, what? And obviously they're not going to say anything like, no, that's not the truth. And so Rufus is like, oh, why didn't you just tell me this from the beginning? You know, it would have been great to get to know you. But
this is where I was
I know.
So confused. I'm like, wow, Rufus is acting like this. And why is Vanessa looking like that? Like, I mean, besides, it's just a weird way to say.
Right. And to do it
I'm
at the
Padge's
auction,
brother. Yeah. Well, that was a totally
just
inappropriate
all
place.
Inappropriate. But I guess he felt comfortable enough with Vanessa there and his mom. Meanwhile, Blair and Chuck confront Serena, but she reveals that she knows that they must have sabotaged Carter, and Blair promises she did it to protect her, and Chuck just says he hates the guy, so that's why he did it.
Right.
Chuck explains that when they sent him to Dubai a few months ago, he actually went to Greece instead, and then Fiji, and Serena realizes that Carter was looking for her father the whole time, and that's how they ended up in Santorini together, but almost got arrested because Carter said he got this boat, but he stole the boat, and that's what happened in Santorini. For, a quick summary of that. But they were going to crash Serena's father's wedding because they heard that he was getting remarried, but they never did get there because they got arrested. And so Serena leaves to go call Carter, and unbeknownst to the group, Bree overhears this conversation. And so Michelle's like, what the hell is Bree doing there? Like, why do we have to pan over to her? I'm like, just wait. Blair follows Serena and asks if Carter is really worth it all. And Serena says that somehow Chuck and Blair make a twisted right and hands Blair the photo to give to Chuck and do the right thing. And then Blair does give Chuck the photo because she believes in him. I thought it was sweet.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. As Blair leaves, Serena looks over the invitation for the secret society again and realizes that it was Georgina who wrote this letter, and it was a setup for Blair in the first place. And so she goes over to confront Georgina and states that she hasn't changed at all, because why are you plotting against Blair still? Serena states the more Georgina pushes on Blair, the more Serena is going to push back on Georgina. So she's got it out for her.
There's a triangle for you.
Right. Elsewhere, Rufus invites Scott and his mother to come back to the apartment to talk, but Scott thanks him and says he's just not ready for that, and the two hug. It's like, if you were the brother's son, you would go.
The brother's...
Yeah, whatever.
The brother's brother.
If you were the brother's brother, then why wouldn't you go to, like, hang out and get to know and reminisce about your brother? But you are the brother, so...
Right, you're the son.
You're the son. So the auction is over. Rufus, Dan, Vanessa, and Serena plan to go get some food, and Dan wants to see where Georgina is so she can come. But Serena says that Georgina left because she didn't feel well, and Dan's like, oh, that's weird. She didn't tell me she was leaving. And so they all get into the limo, and Georgina runs after it, but she's left alone in the dusk. The next day, Dan calls Georgina, and she asks to hang out, but then quickly realizes that Serena told him the truth about what she did to Chair. So she defends what they did and why she did it, because they're awful people and she doesn't really like them. But he tells her that he needs to take a break from her anyway. And she's like, oh, a break? We just started. And then you see on the background of her computer is this creepy ass photo of the two of them that must have been taken on the roof, because when else were they hanging out?
I know, and it kind of looked like a fall background.
Yeah.
But it had to have been... He was in a plaid shirt. And...
Yeah. So she's already stalkery and putting that on her background, even though they've only been going out for like a day. And so after they hang up, Serena admits that she left Carter several messages, but it seems he doesn't want to talk to her. Meanwhile, Chuck goes to Sean's office and confronts Devin about scheming with Georgina, and the two go way back, apparently, and she claims that Chuck needs to get a sense of humor if he's going to survive the hotel business. So then Chuck hands Sean the photo of him with someone else, I don't realize who it is in there, and alludes to the fact that his assistant is maybe not so good.
Didn't he say something of, when your lease doesn't renew
at the Empire,
thank her.
Ooh. And so, because now Chuck wants to buy the Empire.
Yeah.
At the Vanderwoodsons, Carter arrives to see Serena, who apologizes for not believing in him, and he said if she's looking for an excuse to bolt, that she will find one, but she claims that she's not looking anymore, and she wants him to come have breakfast with them, and so all is good on that front. Meanwhile, Blair and Chuck meet up outside, and he tells her that he's planning to buy the Empire Hotel using all of his shares and risking it all, and he states it's because Blair believes in him, and so he should believe in himself. Sweet.
Very sweet.
Yeah, they're really, as annoying as Blair is, Chuck has definitely gone a lot lower on my list of annoying people on the show. Here. Elsewhere, Serena and Carter part ways, and he is stopped by Bree Buckley, and she explains that she's headed home to Texas and will use Carter as leverage to get back into the family's good graces. So it seems as though he has wronged her family in the past, and they've been looking for him for some time now.
Yeah, but the last line.
I know she says Daddy will be looking for you. I know it's...
No, because she says, how Dad likes to hunt.
How Daddy can be, or something like that. I know it sounds like he's her brother.
He's not.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to... I know what it sounds like. And the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, it sounds like that could be her brother or something. But...
Okay.
Yeah. Our last scene, we have Georgina packs to leave school, and she calls the train station to ask which one is going to Boston. So she's going after Scott.
Yeah, because she overheard them talking.
Right.
Vanessa and
Scott. So now she's going to Boston. Why would she go to Boston?
Nosy girl.
Yeah.
Because now she knows the truth. Now
she knows, so now she has leverage.
Yeah.
Over whoever she needs it against, I guess. Scott never did anything to her.
It's super exhausting to be Georgina.
I know. 100%. But that's where our episode closes. We're going to take a short break, come back with all of our good segments. So stay tuned.
Do you read books? Do you live by small bodies of water surrounded by trees and other wildlife? Is that geese shit? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, you have found a home here at the Brook Reading Podcast. Each week, I read a book while nestled in my small New Jersey apartment and gaze out the window at a brook. Then I jump online, talk about it, ask for your opinions, and bitch about something for approximately 5 minutes. If you would like to join this madness, check out the Brook Reading Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, or on the Radio Public app. Let's step into some animal feces together.
Welcome back from break. Going to start out with our trivia. The title is based off the movie The Lost Boys, which can assume that. The Lost Boy received mixed reviews from critics. This is the third week in a row. Michelle Graham, she's got a lot to say, from Film School Rejects, negatively reviewed the character of Scott. If his storyline this week wasn't so fundamental to the progression of the rest of the season, I probably would have forgotten him again. Graham panned actor's portrayal of Scott, stating he seems to only do 2 moods, bland and irate bland. Yikes, that's terrible. Graham praised the return of Georgina, but felt the character of Scott was bringing down Georgina. It's a pity we lose her flair along with his sour puss. But since she's got regular spot over on the new medical drama on NBC Mercy, we're lucky to have her at all.
Oh.
Graham considered the storyline for Chuck and Blair fighting over an auctioned photo forced, but found the cause of both characters wanting to claim it to be very interesting. Graham also portrayed Blair's self-conviction. It's understandable for Blair to automatically assume that she's been selected for a secret society as she believes it to be her right. On reviewing the episode, Graham considered it a mid-season-esque and was disappointed that the show did not give us enough to keep us interested. Oh, and there was a cryptic exchange between Bree and Carter. Maybe that character will actually gain a dimension.
Agreed.
I wonder if they mean Carter or Bree. Either could use a dimension.
True.
The Lost Boy was watched by 2.33 million viewers, which is an increase from last week's episode. However, the episode had a 47% increase in million of views when they watched it on the live DVR ratings, bringing the total views up to a 3.0 million of views.
Okay.
Music we have in this episode: Animal by Mike Snow, Ready for the Floor by Lissy, truly, that's what my grandma calls me. Check the Score by The World Record, Weld at the Seams by The Broken Remotes. Okay, we're going to go into our questions and comments. Going to start over on Instagram first. Mike at Del_Vasto states he doesn't understand how Blair could give Serena so much grief about Carter, while in his opinion, Chuck is way worse.
I feel that I don't know Carter enough. We haven't seen him enough.
We just hear the history of like, oh, Carter's so
Carter
bad,
Bazin,
but you don't see it.
Yeah.
Mike doesn't understand how Rufus didn't recognize Scott's mother, but I'm pretty sure Rufus and Lily only met with the dad. They never met with his mom. We only saw his mom come in after Lily and Rufus left, and then we do see her again, but that's when they answer Scott's phone. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they ever did see her. They only saw the dad.
Good. I don't remember.
His questions: if you were chair, how would you handle the photo debacle?
God. Again, this is another thing. Like, am I chair or am I me in this position with Aunt?
Right. Well, I guess if you were you, I think we just wouldn't fight over the photo. It'd be like, okay, well, nobody have it.
That would be the fair thing.
That'd be the fair thing.
I'd be disappointed.
Of course, but also, like, who needs it more? In my opinion, yeah, Chuck does need it more. He wants to, like, make a career out of himself.
Yeah.
Blair, you can find something else to do.
That's how I would have seen it, too.
Right. So I'm glad in the end, Serena pretty much forced Blair to do that. But he said, would you cave like Blair in the end? Yeah. I mean, probably if I knew that, like, Randy needed this so much more than me, then I wouldn't put up a stupid fight about it.
Pros and cons list, guys.
Totally. Yeah. What do you think happened between the Buckleys and the Bazins or Carter?
Hey, until Liz kind of gave me a cryptic, I thought they were related. So at this point,
they very well might be. I just don't want to confirm. Yes,
I get
or no,
it. I get it.
It's like up in the air thing.
Right. Well, again, we only hear what Carter's bad news and Carter does this and Carter connives and Carter manipulates. So I have no idea. I feel like I don't even know Bree.
Right.
Either.
We don't know her
and the whole family is just so surface level right now.
Right. So true. That's all from Mike.
Thanks,
you, Mike. Shannon at I don't know Fly Casual states she noticed after every time Serena kisses, she bites her bottom lip, and now we can never unsee it.
Damn, girl.
I find her to do that not even when she kisses, but she does it a lot when she's like making some like smirky remark. So now you guys can really never unsee it.
Great.
Yeah. Shannon thinks it was so shitty of Scott to expect Vanessa to keep his secret, knowing she's so close to Rufus.
Oh, this is so tough.
It's hard.
If someone promises you to keep
it's not like they're like
secret.
in love with each other.
I know, but what if someone came to you with this big secret that's not your secret?
It's not yours. I know.
But I really think she was going to tell Patch.
I really think so, too, because it's not Rufus. You know? Hi, Soul. She also says the show can't decide if Rufy is good at cooking or not. He burns the crepes, but then makes a world-class breakfast. Is he only good at chili and waffles? It's hard to say, Shannon.
So good, Shannon.
Thank you, Shannon, for your questions. Jess at Mrs. Boquist states, they clearly say Scott is 20 here, so they really messed up on the timeline, as we knew.
Yeah.
I know. The way they described Scott as stalkery made Jess flash to Joe and you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. She said, finally, a dad nugget of Santorini. And she's excited for the start of the Empire Hotel. That plays a big part in the show.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Again, I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why we couldn't go on the Gossip Girl tour, I'm pretty sure, is because of that, which now you know about the Empire Hotel. So
cool.
Her question, she said, where do you think things will go in regards to Serena and her dad now that we know a little bit more?
I'm still hoping that she gets to him and we see him. I know we
do meet him.
We do meet him.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he
feels
comes.
like forever, but
yeah,
we do meet him.
I'm hoping he comes to New York for it.
Okay.
'Cause I can't see her
going to.
Maybe he'll have some sort of business meeting in New York, and her and Carter will kind of ambush it.
Right. Do they ever say what he does?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I didn't know if they told us that yet.
But you do know.
Yes, we do know. I do know.
Right.
Tish at Letitia_Dominique says she prefers last week's episode over this week's. It's okay. Everyone has their own opinions.
Yeah.
She loved the twist of Georgina setting up Jer.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
No, you don't see that coming. Georgina likes to do whatever she can to manipulate. First time in weeks where Serena didn't annoy her this episode.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah. And Nate and Marie is still bleh, but interested to know how she knows Carter.
Right. I'm more interested in that. Nate is a snooze fest.
I know.
To me.
Poor Nate. They really don't give him much, at least in the beginning of this season. Her questions, do you think Scott will ever reveal the truth to Rufus and Lily?
Yes. But I don't think it'll be him who reveals it.
Okay. Is Georgina going after Scott?
No. She's going after... Yes and no, right? She's going to get the information.
What does she need Scott for?
But she's going to use it somehow in her big plan.
Right.
Which I don't know how this fits in with just taking down Blair.
Right. I don't know why. You know why? It's because now Dan burned her.
Right.
So she's going to do something to get back at Dan?
Yeah, like
maybe?
holds it over him.
Right. Vic at Muse Chick states she thought this was going to be about Nate since it's called Lost Boy, but when he actually appeared, she already forgot about him. Us too. She said Georgie planning their future together is psycho. She's already planning it even though they were together for 2 days.
Right.
She doesn't care for Serena and Carter, but when all the incidents happened, she actually did believe him when he told her that he was telling the truth.
I was on the fence.
Yeah. She thinks Scott telling Rufus he is his son's brother was a guilt trip from his mother. I didn't look at it that way, but it could make sense.
I don't think it was a guilt trip, but I could see maybe him thinking about it because she says, whatever happens, I'm your mother.
Right.
But I support you.
Right.
And so maybe that sunk in with him and maybe he felt, I don't need to do this.
Right. Like, I have my parents. They do love me. Maybe I'm not ready for this yet. Her questions, were you surprised Serena wasn't upset about Georgina dating Padge? No. She's been pretty cool this entire time as far as like talking about them dating. Obviously, she's moved on. She's with Carter.
Well, she says that.
Right. So what is she? I guess it would be weird since Georgina is such a big manipulator and big influence in her past life that it might have been weird, but Serena, she's cool as a cuke.
That's it.
Great question. Which couple do you care less for? Bree and Nate or Carter and Serena? I care less for Bree and Nate.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I
both
just have
are...
a soft spot for Carter, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, both are pretty low.
You're pretty low.
Pretty low. Really, really low. But I want to see, I guess, more with Carter and Serena.
Yeah, me too. I want to see that develop into something where Bree and Nate I feel like
how about
you can just predict what's going to happen.
Yeah,
there.
and how about we just focus on Brain Carter?
Yeah, let's just forget about Nate and Serena and just focus on Brain
I want to know
Carter.
what's happening there.
Yeah. Vic also asked, who do you think will be the first to find out about Scott? Obviously, we know Vanessa knows, but...
Right, obviously Georgina.
And obviously Georgina knows.
And
but I guess after that.
Patch.
Okay.
Yeah. Makes
sense. I'm going to read a awesome email from our buddy Sean, Saucy Shawnee. So Sean states in his email, this article popped up randomly on his timeline on Twitter, and it's a 48-minute video from Variety where Penn Badgley and Chase Crawford talk to each other. Kind of how Jen Aniston and Lisa Kudrow did the Friends, the Skype call. He said it was really funny to listen to, except that it is filled with Gossip Girl spoilers. And I'm so glad that Sean summed it up for us because I didn't want to spend 48 minutes at midnight the other night when I was looking at it. And I also didn't want to, post it and not know if there was any spoilers. So he said this is definitely for those who have seen the show or for those who don't mind spoilers. They also give spoilers for Penn's show You and Chase's show The Boys. It really is a fun interview where they get to talk to each other and catch up when they haven't talked in so long. He's going to add the highlights below and that relate to Gossip Girl. So I'm very excited.
Thank you.
I will post this on Patreon publicly so everyone can see it. But obviously, if you don't want to know any spoilers, please don't click on it. One, not really a Gossip Girl thing, but both not really a Gossip Girl thing, but both men have incredible facial hair. I don't know why that was so hard for me to get out. Chase and Penn have not gone back and watched the show over again because they were in their early 20s and they don't want to critique their acting or see their insecurities on their face. Penn has only rewatched one episode, and that's because his girlfriend, now wife, had never seen it and she wanted to watch it. Chase has never rewatched the show. Interesting.
I think a lot of actors
they don't,
that.
Right?
Yeah.
Chase wanted to add more of his humor and personality to Nate, but the showrunners wouldn't let him because Nate was supposed to be this lost boy trying to find himself. Well, he says his favorite scenes to shoot were the ones with Nate and Padge because he could get a little less serious and have a bit more fun with his character. Aww. Poor Chase.
Yeah, really.
Shooting the longer seasons of Gossip Girl, the ones with 24, 25, 26 episodes, took about 10 and a half months. They would work 5 days a week for about 12 hours a day. Now with their new shows, it's only 10 episodes, so it takes only 5 to 6 months, and they have much more free time on their hands.
Wow.
I think that's so great that they are doing that, at least for the celebrities, because now they only have 5 months to shoot something and then they can go on to something else or have relaxed time.
Yeah, it gives the actor more freedom to work on projects.
Honestly, as an audience member, I like to watch a 10-episode show and then that be done for the year or whatever for that season and then come back with another 10. 25 episodes is a lot of show.
It depends, though. Give me my old goodies.
Well, yeah.
And I want the long.
No, I know.
But the new stuff, I'm good.
10, like a Netflix special, 10. Good.
8, I'm good.
Yeah. He says, so those are the Gossip Girl highlights, but there are a lot about how they like acting as their new characters, and it lets them have more fun with their acting skills. They also complement the other shows and characters and give their take on what they like about them. But again, Gossip Girl spoilers come up a lot, so new watchers should avoid it unless they don't mind the show being spoiled for them. Sean. Thank you, Sean, so much for taking the time to write all of that and watch the 48 minutes so I didn't have to. But I will go back and watch it because obviously I know what happens in Gossip Girl. But if you're an OG, definitely check that out. Okay, so fashion headbands. I had none.
I had none either.
There was not any that I caught, at least. But I did like the navy coat Blair was wearing when she took it off to reveal her lingerie.
I liked her mustard yellow top.
So did Jess. I liked Chuck's paisley purple tie. I think that looks nice.
I liked Vanessa's snake necklace.
That was cool. In the chat, everyone was saying, is she Slytherin because she had the snake necklace? I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I did actually like Bree's floral dress to the auction. I felt like I don't normally like her wardrobe choice.
No.
But that one wasn't as bad as the other floral dresses she seems to wear.
Bright colors, that one.
Yeah. Shannon actually really loved Blair's lingerie.
Yeah, it was
'Cause,
cute.
Of course, how do you not like that?
I liked Padge's taupe t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Padge
He's looking real good.
It's not too bad.
No, he's not too bad. Everyone has that summer glow, the tan skin. He doesn't look cold, as we always peg him to be. I don't mind his hair longer. I'm not usually one for the long hair, but it doesn't bother me.
No, I think it looks good on
he
him.
looks good. He just looks like he's relaxed and chilling, and he's the new Padge.
Yeah.
Jess also liked Vanessa's striped shirt and Serena's burnt orange tank top with the bedazzled vest
those
over
were
it.
my two that I had left.
Oh, so there you go. What about quotes? I wrote, what? Oh, of course, Dan. Okay, I don't know where that came from.
I take my scotch neat.
Mm-hmm. Because who doesn't have a Georgina in their closet, right?
She stole my shoes.
Everyone loves that quote. Shannon loved that, and Jess loved that. When there's a white fluffy robe, there's a way.
I'm your son's brother.
Oh, and you really are making a huge mistake. Bye.
2 wrongs make a twisted right.
You're special enough on your own. You don't need a group to say you are. I thought that was sweet.
That
from
was
Chuck.
sweet.
And Blair, because I love you, you enormously stubborn pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Which I said, don't we all say that to our husbands and boyfriends?
And then she has an MBA in deviant behavior.
She sure does.
Talking about Miss Georgina.
MVP and shittiest.
This is tough.
It was tough, and I did my notes a few days ago, and I'm kind of surprised about my MVP.
Are you?
Yeah. Interesting.
Wow. It's funny because not once did I think about MVP or shittiest during the episode.
Right. I'll give you a minute.
Thank you so much.
MVP on 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Serena.
Rufus. What?
I know. That's why I said I'm actually surprised at my choice. I guess because she really didn't do anything petty, and I don't know. I wrote everyone was kind of shitty or bland.
But it's true. Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, watching it the second time around with you, your negative energy definitely reflected
so
on me.
sorry.
No, I mean, she's not ever going to be my favorite character. But she did bother me a little bit more, especially in the beginning of the episode. Just her being there, her presence. But I don't know. I don't know. But Rufus, that's a good choice.
I chose Rufus. I felt, he's been a father figure to Vanessa. This kid, Scott, who now wants to hang around and learn guitar from him. Everyone else around him is like, yo, this is weird.
Yeah.
He's like, no, he's a good kid.
Yeah.
He's being a good dad to Serena, too. He's feeding all of the kids as he does. I'm really trying here because I was like, Rufus.
No, I mean, hey, I picked Rufus the last 2 weeks in a row. I think he's just doing the best he can.
Right.
And I think that's a great choice. Tish actually had her MVP as Padge for seeing the crazy in Georgina and getting out while he still can.
Yeah, but there's no way he's out. Clearly.
Well, now he couldn't be out because she's like, nah, you think you're going to get out? I'm going to pull you right back in. Right. Shittiest.
3, 2, 1. Georgina. Ooh.
Tish also had Georgina for the way that she played Chair.
Yeah.
But I picked Chair for the way they played Carter. Because, that's just fucking
No,
petty.
that was... But it's so typical of them because Blair just wants
typical.
To protect Serena. She's been
Right.
trying to do this since episode 1.
Yeah. I know. And it's really frustrating. We know, obviously, Carter is not Chuck's favorite person and vice versa with that. But Blair, you can see Serena's happy. Stop playing. No one is perfect. Everyone changes. Blair, you're trying to change. So
It's such an elaborate plan, too.
so stupid.
Who has time for this
but
shit?
even Georgina's was even more elaborate.
No, I know. That's what's so... She's
So fucked up.
a little nutso.
She's definitely a lot nutso. Okay, so we can go into Patron of
Yay!
the Week. It's Patron of the Week.
Patron of the Week.
It's Patron of the Week. Who will it be?
It's Patron of the Week.
So I already spoke with my sister about this. We were on FaceTime the other night, and I said, I have a secret to tell you. I picked Rye as Patron of the Week. And she goes, oh my God, are you going to tell him? I said, no. I'm going to let him find out by himself. I'm going to post it on Instagram. I'm going to post it on Patreon so that he's surprised. So, Rye Guy, you are our patron of the week. Like you've been begging for the last 2 years.
And this is Liz's sister.
This is my brother-in-law. Yeah. So him and my sister do pledge to the network. They don't get VIP treatment, I swear. But he's never been patron of the week. And I do want to say we really appreciate all of your support. You didn't have to pledge to us.
No.
But you do. And that really means a lot to us. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Rye Guy.
Yes. Okay, Michelle, I'm going
ready.
to give you the
Yay.
title for next week.
Yes.
My 3 gossip words. Very excited for this.
Okay.
3 gossip words.
The title is Dan de Floret.
Say that again.
Dan de Floret. My 3 gossip words are celebrity, premiere, publicity.
Wait, is this the episode where we get a guest star
We do.
that everybody seems to love?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We actually get 2 celebrity cameos next week.
So, cameos.
One of them is a character that stays for a little bit.
That's
Mike's
playing
favorite
themselves?
I don't know.
Oh, man. Well, celebrity cameo, that means that they're playing themselves.
Right. Okay. So there's one. So there isn't a technical celebrity cameo, but there are 2 celebrities that play characters next week. I should
Guest
say.
stars.
Guest stars.
We have new guest stars coming.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all celebrities, right?
Right. But people that are in the world and now they're like, oh, okay, now they're on Gossip Girl. Interesting.
Ooh.
Fun.
Okay.
Yeah. So celebrity premiere publicity.
Okay. So,
Obviously, each week very vague.
sure. But obviously, there's a premiere of some sort that is happening. There's going to be a lot of publicity there. So, they're all going to go a lot of paparazzi shots. I'm hoping a lot of this has to do with Bree and
Carter.
But then the title Dan.
Right. I know,
So-
throws you off a little.
Padgy boy, how are we in here with all of this? Like the title is obviously has to do with you.
You would think.
Yeah. Unless Padge is attending something for college and this has to do with the premiere, but why would there be these new characters here for it? You're probably not going to tell me. Are they students?
I'll tell you that one is a student.
Okay, one is a student. Are you going to tell me the gender?
The gender is female.
Both.
Both are female, but the student is a female, yeah. And that's Mike's favorite character.
I know.
Favorite side character.
I'm-
Well, I mean, it could have been the other one, but this.
Will
the
I
one
know
I'm
who they
talking about.
are?
Well, you know who they are, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Once they come up, you're like, that's good. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this is so fun.
It is fun because I truly enjoy her character as well. It's a good one. Next week is a very different feel of Gossip Girl, in my opinion. I feel like every episode so far this season has been like a little bit different from the other ones.
Well, because they're in college, it's different.
College,
scenery.
you can do what you want with it. So, yeah. Little was it too much?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how. Maybe Padge takes an interest in this new character, and Georgina gets jealous. And also, Georgina, I wonder if we're going to see her with Scott
Mm-hmm.
in Boston, or are we just going to hear the aftermath of it?
Right.
I also don't think Scott is done with.
Okay. I can confirm he's not on the island.
Yeah. I would hope not. Fucking Gossip Girl
Right.
writers.
Well,
It's
yeah.
not the first time we've done shit
Definitely
like this.
not the last.
I bet. So maybe he takes this date to some kind of premiere. There's pictures of it. Georgina either sees the pictures or she sees it on Gossip Girl, even though I think she's Gossip Girl. Spoiler this week.
Okay. I mean, it's a great guess.
Yeah, and then the 2 cameos would be the celebrity part of it, premiere, they're attending it, and then the publicity is how Georgina finds out.
Great prediction.
That's what I'm going to go with.
I'm not going to give you a rating.
That's fine.
Okay, so you think Gossip Girl is Georgina.
For now, yeah.
It makes sense.
She has her hand in all these little pots right now. And so for a online blog to know all of this, it make sense if it was her.
Right. She does have that computer with the background of her and Dan.
Right. It just doesn't, right now, it doesn't make sense for anybody else to do it.
Right.
Like Chuck is busy with his business.
Yeah.
Blair is busy with her business and his business. Serena is like in La La Land.
Right. All the college kids are pretty much busy.
And there's no way Nate would even get with this. Brie, maybe, but she seems now to be preoccupied with Carter. I mean, Georgina is the only person who seems like she wants to connive and manipulate with these characters and have her say with all of them.
Right. Makes sense. Tish still thinks it's Vanessa. She doesn't know why. She just still thinks it is.
Okay, I like that.
She's a newbie as well, if I haven't already mentioned that the last 3 weeks. But that's where we end the episode. This was a fun one. Next week, I swear, is going to be even more fun.
I mean, I'm excited because you're excited. So
yeah, I'm excited. I'm sure most of our listeners are excited too, because we do get that awesome guest side character that stays around for a little bit. One of them doesn't stay, but the other one stays for a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to reach out to us on our social media platforms, we are 3 Gossip Girls Pod on everything. You can reach us at 3gossipgirlspod@gmail.com. If you want to send us an email, we love receiving them. If you want to join our Patreon network, you can head over to ittakes3network.com and hang out with us every Thursday. We do Netflix parties. We have monthly Zoom hangouts, behind the scenes goodies, mini-sodes, all of that goodness. So like I said, ittakes3network.com. And if you are an Apple podcast user and you haven't left us a review, it would be really cool if you did, but no pressure. Please. But, it's awesome. And I think that's where we end the episode. We'll see you next week for episode 4 of season 3. Wow. 4 weeks already. In the books, almost.
Insane.
Yeah.
Nuts.
You know you love us.
XOXO.
Gossip Girls.